Breakfast with Robbie Buck.
Okay, think about all the signs that you see around your streets on a daily basis. There are traffic signs, there are signs telling you not to walk in certain places, there are signs telling you to be careful. They're generally signs trying to make the city, the country, a safer place. But when do we go overboard? I mean, are there times where you look around and you think, you know what, enough is enough? That's certainly the sensation that my next two guests have obviously had, because if you walk around Sydney and look very closely, or if you were particularly in January this year, you might have seen some signs that were a little bit different. Signs that said things like, "Welcome to Australia, fines apply," or "Aussie rules, there's a new one every day," or "Fear everything, sponsored by your local council." So what are they all about? Well, they are the work of two artists, Clary, Akon and Francis Merson, and they have joined me in the studio to reveal what's going on. Good morning.
G'day, Robbie.
Yeah, what is going on?
Well, look, we both grew up in Sydney, and we noticed how gradually it stopped being a very breezy, relaxed place, the place you grew up in, and it's becoming increasingly kind of rule-bound, tense, and in a lot of ways kind of anti-fun.
Right.
And so we wanted to do something in our small way about this.
Okay. So your reaction was to do what?
Well, Clary was the real instigator on this
Was
one.
he?
We're taking existing signs, making our own, and we're turning the volume up just a notch.
Right. Okay. And where have they been placed?
We've been placing them around parks and beaches. Where else? There's stickers that we put up around, like, for example, our Fun Police sticker we put up above the 1:30 a.m. lockouts.
Okay, so this area is patrolled by Fun Police, protecting Sydney's citizens from themselves. What kind of reaction do you get?
That's the interesting thing. I mean, we have had a few articles in the media.
Yeah. Okay, because some of the signs made it to social media as well, and people started having...
The biggest one we had was a sign we put up saying that everyone jogging on Bondi has to wear a helmet compulsorily. And that really baffled people, because a lot of the international media just took it on face value and thought
They thought it was
a new law that had been introduced in Australia.
Well, fair enough. I mean, you could trip over while you're jogging and hit your head.
Absolutely.
And hurt yourself. Yeah.
But like you were saying, Robbie, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah,
Where
okay.
do we draw the line? In terms of reaction, what was interesting is the reaction we didn't get from another sign we put up, which was implying that it was new rules for ball games. All players must have personal liability insurance. Those signs stayed up for a full month.
Did they?
I think so. They're still up around the place.
Okay, so this is the role of satire, isn't it? Is to hold a mirror up to what's around us all the time.
Absolutely.
And take. So where is your line in the sand? Obviously, I mean, things like bicycle helmets, for example. We know that bicycle helmets, most of the data suggests, actually they do help you if you have an accident. They can save you from a critical injury.
Sure.
How would you go with that, for example?
Well, look, bicycle helmets, I mean, whose head is it at the end of the day? It's my head. And surely it should be up to me what level of risk I expose it to. So that's one of the rules that I think personally neither of us are comfortable with.
Yeah, okay.
And I think we're pretty much the only country to have compulsory bike helmets.
I think there's only one or two others.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the other aspect of it is the fine for not having one. What do you think the fine is for not having a bike helmet?
It's now $372.
Oh, that's great.
thereabouts.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Which also seems a bit excessive.
Yeah. No, look, I would agree with that, to be honest. I guess the flip side of it, just to play the devil's advocate, is that you hit your head badly. If you get a brain injury, the state has to pay for not only the medical costs when you go to hospital, but also the recovery afterwards. So you may,
Look, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are more injuries that happen from people playing rugby every weekend.
Are there?
Do we force them to wear helmets?
Hence, personal liability insurance.
yeah, okay.
What we want to do, though, is have a conversation about this, get people talking, because I think what's happened is that government bodies are just steamrolling over the top of us with all the best intentions to keep us safe. But
okay, I think it's an interesting, like you said, it's an interesting conversation point to start. Feel free to join in this morning. 1300 222 702 is the number here. What's the most ridiculous safety sign you've seen? It's probably one of these two boys, actually. But what about an official sign? And indeed, where do you see the line being? I know that there's a lot of different perspectives on this, and people have different attitudes towards different rules and different laws. But what about some of your own council laws that you find a little bit crazy as well? 1300 222 702 is the number here. Mark is in Newport. G'day, Mark.
Yeah, good morning, Robbie.
Well, how are you reacting to this conversation?
Yeah, I was with my kids down the wharf. I grew up on the northern beaches, and I was with my kids down the wharf just recently, and they've got a board there. It's got about 8 of the red circles with a line through it. And I said to my kids, you know what, when I was a kid or your age, I said I used to come down here and I used to do that, which was no fishing, no swimming, with a dog, no on a push bike, the whole lot. Every circle is what we used to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at one that these boys have printed up that's got the red sign with the line through it that says spontaneity in the middle of it. And maybe that's another part of it, that, we're sort of taking out that sense of let's just see what happens a little bit.
Yeah, I think the world has gone a little bit precious.
Maybe. Yeah. Good on you, Mark. Thank you.
Especially with the bike helmets, how many people don't ride a bike now just because they haven't got a helmet?
Yeah, I don't know what the figures would be on it, but it's probably a reasonable number. Fair enough. Yeah. Good on you, Mark. Caroline is in Fairfield. Hello, Caroline.
Hello, Robbie.
What about the signs that you've seen that you wonder about?
Yeah, it's those triangle yellow signs that say slippery surface, and they're there for half a day sometimes. So the surface that may have been wiped down or something spilt because it was slippery is no longer slippery, but the sign itself becomes a danger. People trip over it.
So you need another sign to say danger. There's a slippery sign ahead. I think we've solved that
or
one.
Monitor it, or make it so that people can't trip over them when the surface is actually dry.
Yeah, fair point. Good on you. Thank you, Caroline. We have Clary Akon and Francis Merson with us this morning, and as you've heard, they've been up to a bit of mischief around Sydney over the last few months. Have you had any official responses?
Not yet. Perhaps this will be the first time.
Maybe.
If anyone's listening, you know who we
now, finally, you think, who are those rat bags putting up those terrible fun police signs? Yeah,
we have had disclaimers actually from the New South Wales Police Service saying no, we didn't put up these signs, and the council. But
I'm sure they were very happy.
Which is fair enough.
Ian's on the Central Coast. Morning, Ian.
Yes, look, here at Avoca Beach, there's a sign here. It needs to be enforced badly. It's a sign that says no dogs allowed in the parking area, and attached underneath on the pole is a container containing doggy bags. So,
so it's a bit of a mixed message.
Well, it is a mixed message, but I have never seen it enforced. So anyway, I just thought I'd run that past you for
fair point.
Interest. There we go. So
Yeah.
either ban the dogs or take the dog.
Maybe it's a little bit of best of both worlds.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, good on you. Thank you. Thanks for that one. 1300 222 702. So the culmination of all this, you've put all these signs out there, and it's all coming together. Is it Tuesday night?
Tuesday night, that's right. We're having our launch at Australian Galleries in Paddington, where we're kind of putting all our works together in one place, and also a few new works that haven't hit the streets yet, so people have a chance to get a bit of a sneak preview about what's coming next.
So it's going to continue, is it? For as long as
they'll allow you.
It
looks like
it's our therapy.
It's very cathartic, actually.
Yeah.
What's your favourite sign?
Ooh.
That's a tough one.
I think it's. I'm going for Fun Police at the moment.
The Fun Police is your
Fun
favourite?
Police has been very popular, hasn't it?
Yeah, it kind of says it all. I feel particularly affected by it being an artist.
Do you?
Because I feel what's the effect of all this? We think of ourselves as a laid-back, anti-authoritarian society. I mean, that's always been our reputation, and it's just changed. It's not the case anymore. And the result of all these rules is there's no spontaneity, and if there's no spontaneity, there's no creativity.
But do you think, are the rules really crueling our capacity to be spontaneous? I mean, there's a lot of things you can still do. It's just...
Yeah, but I mean, if you go to a park, it'd be almost be easier to have a sign with a list of the things you can do these days.
Yeah,
it's like in a maximum security jail, the number of rules you have.
You're always looking over your shoulder. People are becoming quite anxious, and uptight. I think that's the result. It's like a cultural change that's creeping in, and that's what we want to draw attention to.
All right, John's on the Central Coast. Morning, John.
Good morning.
Yeah,
I just want to report a genuine sign, which I think was one of the stupidest I've ever seen. For many years, probably still there, on Mount Camberwarra, there was a road sign saying falling rocks do not stop.
Well, look, I guess it makes sense in that you're encouraged not to pull the car up there because there's the risk.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It's a little odd when you drive past. One more from Caroline. Morning, Caroline.
Hi, how you going?
Yeah. What's the sign you've noticed?
There's a sign at a local pool, indoor pool, that I swim at. It just amuses me every time. It's above the toilet, and it says, "This is reclaimed water. Please don't drink."
Well, it's nice to be reminded not to drink out of the toilet from time to time, just in case you've forgotten. Good on you. Thanks for that one, Caroline. All right, the exhibition is on Tuesday night. It's called Exploring the Nanny State Through Subversive Street Art. From Tuesday night at Australian Galleries in Royalston Street in Paddington. The artists behind it, the ratbags who've been causing all that trouble, Clary, Akon, and Akon. Sorry, I've got the wrong.
Play the rap star.
Yeah, of course. And Francis Merson. Hey, gents, thanks for coming in this morning.
Thanks, Robbie.
Thanks, Robbie.
The next train to arrive
You're with Robbie Buck
on ABC Radio Sydney.